Hey folks, lots of fun this evening, and we are here, but we had a hell of a time getting here. So I'm just going to move the laptop over. You have to bring some wires.
So we on?
Well, we are. So you and I will probably have to move. Yeah, you'll have to come. Yeah. There, at least. Well, we had people before, and I think we lost them.
Oh, really?
I don't. Well, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may have to come around a bit more. Every week is a new adventure with this friggin' thing. It's just like, and I don't even know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
I did a test before, and the camera was working fine, and we sighted it all in, and everything was working great. Oh yeah, you have to turn your phone
I
down.
just thought I put this on not disturb.
But whoever our one guest is, thanks for tuning in. Oh, what a nightmare. As you can see, my guest this evening is Rick Pinkney from Nova Scotia Arm Wrestling and Canadian Arm Wrestling Federation. Rick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
As always, thank our members for your support. It's truly appreciative. It helps us get to more tournaments, and maybe one day it'll help us figure out what the hell we're doing wrong here. It's every week's an adventure, and this is much what governments feel like. You throw more money at shit, and it doesn't make it any better. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I invited Rick in to discuss the IFA World Championships. That Rick's a referee panel member, and you were over there refereeing as a master referee.
Yep.
Okay, so right from home, how was your trip going?
It went good on the way out. Well, I mean, I had to leave a day early because of the storm that blew in.
Oh,
so
we had
Hurricane
Fiona. Yeah.
that hit. So I had to leave a day early and spend a night in Toronto.
There
was a few $100 extra.
I was going to say your own expense, right?
Yep.
So man,
but I got out. Otherwise, I mean, hard to say when I would have got out.
You would have got out after the tournament was over, probably.
Mark McPhail flew out on Sunday, but that's when he booked to go out.
Oh, okay. So by then
that
hurricane
airport was insane on Friday.
Really?
I'd never seen the security line went right down past Air Canada.
Now I know that you travel on a Nexus Pass. Yeah. Does that you could?
Oh, I walk right by everybody. Like,
yeah, sorry, yeah, but okay,
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, but that did make a difference.
Oh God,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would have been in that line for 2 hours, and I was there three hours early.
Wow. Okay, so you fly to Toronto, uneventful, but you have to spend the night in Toronto at a hotel near the airport, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and then just went over early and sat around and waited for my plane to leave.
Okay.
Actually, no, we left that night because it's kind of weird that there's no direct flight between Toronto and Paris.
Okay. So
this was an unusual flight that they actually put on. I think they flew everybody from Halifax up to Toronto, and then we all flew out of Toronto straight to Paris.
You did have a direct flight to Paris?
Yeah.
Air Canada? Is that who you flew, or
WestJet?
WestJet, okay.
Yeah. They've got direct flights out of Montreal, but I think the Toronto one stops in Halifax.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. People from Toronto stop in Halifax.
Yeah, that's backwards compared to what we're used to, right?
Yeah.
But it is a shorter flight from Halifax overseas than it is from Toronto overseas.
Well, yeah.
So
it's adds an extra hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay. So you get to you landed directly in Paris.
Yeah. Then I spent a night in Paris and met up with Sean Hancock. And so we kind of bummed around Paris for the day and that night and rented some bicycles and some scooters and bombed around the streets of Paris.
Well, you've met Sean before. I've never met Sean, but you've met Sean before.
Yeah, many times, yeah.
Okay.
And we had a good time just blasting around and checking out stuff and eating the pastries and
Good thing you didn't have to make weight, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do so much walking, so you pretty well walk it off anyway.
Okay.
So it's not too bad. Then I flew out the next morning to Dieppe.
You had to fly to Dieppe?
Yeah. No. Sorry, took a train.
Oh, okay.
Train. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, took a train. So that was a couple hour ride, but wasn't bad.
No, on a training, that's you just sit, kick back, relax.
Yeah, and we had to get off at one spot, and that's where I met up with the Droshis, and so I met up with them on the way.
Okay.
They'd spent, I think in total, they were gone like 17 days or something.
I know they were gone for a bunch of time. There was 4 of them, right? There was the husband and wife, their son Mason, and
then Leah.
And
Leah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was traveling with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then once we got there, then met up with the rest of Team Canada. They kind of straggled in, and I mean there was Joe Gould. There was I got to try to remember everybody.
Oh, you won't be able to.
Mark McPhail, Randy Sparling from BC, Dustin Houghton.
Dustin, yeah.
Always forget which one it was, Dustin or Dylan.
Dustin or Dylan.
Yeah, so I think it was Dustin. And then the Plexman, Dan Blacksmith.
I got to meet, look, if you don't know Dan Plexman's story, you need to go check this out.
We'll actually talk about
but this is a great guy.
Oh,
what an attitude.
Oh,
and like this is
for what he's been through.
Absolutely, yeah. I met him for the first time. Maybe it was your first time too, just in Winnipeg at the Nationals.
I actually didn't even get a chance to meet him out there. No,
that's where I met him.
Yeah,
and I had a couple minutes to have an actual conversation with him. Said, "Hi, how you doing? Thanks. I got to run."
Yeah, no, super guy.
Yeah,
I met him and his wife, and who else was there? Oh, and Luke Soller and Jesse Watton from down the valley, and Wade Graves was there. I think that pretty well. Sorry if I missed anybody, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty well it.
There was nobody else from the Atlantic area.
No, and Mathieu Tessier.
Tessier, yeah. But just from the Atlantic area, you and Wade and Mark and
Jesse and Luke.
Okay, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody did really well. Jesse took a couple of seconds. Luke didn't make weight, so he still did okay though. But you know what? You're going that far, you got to make sure you make weight.
And a couple of really good guys, really good attitudes on them, but they're still young.
Yeah.
And look, and you and I can barely remember when we were that young, but they're still, they want to party, have a good time. They want to see things. No, and I'm aware. And look, they had a nightmare in Winnipeg trying to check into a motel that they weren't had a reservation for, and then they end up showing up late one day.
Yeah.
But they're having a great time. They really are good young guys.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
But, sorry to cut you off, but
no, that's okay. And so then so like I said, we all met up, and we I think it was on the third day we all managed to get together because I think Randy was late coming in because he was just pulling seniors, and so we went down. I'll tell you, treated like kings and queens, and it was just the 80th anniversary
because you're Canadian.
And actually, Anders Axel said, "I feel like I'm in Canada. There's so many Canadian flags in this town."
Oh.
And they get a spot called Canada Square. They get a monument there. They get some Canadian flags in the ground, type like in flowers and stuff. And we actually had our team picture there, which was excellent. And while we were having our picture taken, so the girls are taking our picture, the wives and girlfriends type there, taking the pictures. And this guy walks up. He happens to be walking by, and he hands one of the girls a book about Canadians in Dieppe.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of just out of the blue. He's walking by and he handed the book. So Mathieu Tessier, because it was in French, so he was the only one. So
got a built-in translator.
So he ended up with the book, as far as I know. But no, we had a great time there. Met the mayor of Dieppe and the deputy mayor came over, and Anna Mazarenko comes over. Come on, gotta get your picture taken. And they wanted to meet me, and it was so perfect timing because we just had our pictures taken.
Okay.
So I'm showing the picture. Send me the pictures. You know what I mean? So that was pretty cool. And so now we had a great time in Dieppe, and we were wandering around the streets. And,
cool.
And
for those who watch this now or watch this later, so Canada has a very deep, rich wartime history with the French.
Yeah, and especially Dieppe, we lost a lot of guys.
Yeah.
It was called the Raid in Dieppe, and it was 1942. And something like there was around 10,000 in total that stormed the beach, and 5,000 of those were Canadian, and only something like 2,200 made it back to England after the raid. So It was a bad time. So, and that's why there's so many monuments there to the Canadians. So that was nice. And anyway, back to the tournament.
Yeah. So, okay, you guys, you're hanging out. So what day is weigh-ins start for your
weigh-ins was Tuesday. Yeah. Weigh-ins. The first weigh-ins was Tuesday.
First weigh-in. So that's for junior classes.
Juniors and masters.
Juniors, masters, disabled?
No. Disabled pulled the same day as seniors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so we had the weigh-ins on Tuesday, and then I was at a referee. We ran the referee seminar. And then Wednesday was the start of the competition for juniors and masters.
And masters, okay.
And so Leia and Mason just crushed it. I mean, first day they just crushed everybody.
Having watched them at nationals, it didn't surprise me when I watched as much as I could live that they performed so well. But they were forces at nationals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
oh yeah.
Not that the expectations are too high, but you expected them to perform very well. I don't think I expected them to perform at that level.
Yeah.
They were just head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. People,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then they both entered the senior class.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I think right hand. Leia didn't do so well left hand, but right hand she took a third.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
she
amazing.
took a third there, and I was talking to one of the American girls won it, and then at the after poll, after it was all over, she said to me, she says, "Man, that girl's strong." So you know what, and she hasn't been arm wrestling that long.
No, okay.
So you put a few more years behind her, and look out.
Well, I mean, she's pulling in the juniors.
Yeah.
So she's a young girl.
18 juniors. Not even the 21 juniors.
18-year-old. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's 18 years old or under.
17, I think 17.
So yeah, by the time she's 20, 21,
Yeah.
if she keeps interested and hangs around, she'll be amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She's going to be a handful for anybody.
And Mason, even though I haven't covered nationals for the past few years, I kept hearing his name.
Oh, I know. You've been seeing it everywhere through Alberta.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's doing well out there. And then, man, crushed it at nationals and crushed it there.
Yeah.
And then he also pulled seniors. The first day was left-handed. He didn't do so well left-handed.
Oh, really?
But then I think the next day in right-hand, I think he took a fifth.
Really?
In about, I don't know what there was, around 20 guys in the class, and he took a fifth. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. And then also in seniors, Dustin on the left-hand day, Dustin and Randy actually did really well. I think they took like a fifth and a sixth or a fourth and a fifth or something. And one of them had to, and Dustin ended up knocking Randy out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of sucked that way. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was nice to see the boys up there and doing well. And Jesse went in the seniors too, and elbow fouls. I think he lost all his matches on elbow fouls.
Really?
Yeah.
How did he do it? Do you remember how he did at in the juniors?
He took a second.
Okay.
Took 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And he was actually on the A side going in the finals.
Oh, really?
He fouled out.
He got fouled out. And what about Luke? How did he missed weight? Did he have to go up in class?
He went up in class, and I think he still did okay, like a fifth or a sixth or something in there. So he did okay. And like I said, and then in Masters, another elbow fouls and met Mark McPhail. He had Taro from Finland, second or third match. Crushed him, just bang, the way Mark hits, right through him, fouled out.
Yeah.
Taro goes on to finish second.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's all. That could be hard in your head to accept that. However, you and I both know Mark is always riding the edge of whether it's an elbow foul or not. He's just a fraction of an inch away from losing any shot at the podium. So that's too bad.
Now we got to give a shout out to Troy Eaton too. Troy, right hand, he was king of the class. Just
what weight? Do you remember what weight class Troy's was?
78 or 86, something in there.
86 sounds more like it to me, but.
Yeah, and Anders Carlson was in there, I figured. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Really?
So him and Anders are going through, and then when it came down to the two of them, and Troy just went, I'm saying going, damn, right on Troy. And he crushed him.
Well, I talked to Troy at the Nationals this past year, and coming back out and hanging around with everybody and just the whole atmosphere, got a little bit of fire lit under his ass again, right? So, and I mean, Troy's always been a great performer.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Spent all those years finishing second to George Zakowicz.
Moves up in class and starts kicking ass.
Yeah. So it just tells you how good he actually was and how good George really is.
Yeah.
You guys, people can say, we're not going to debate George. Okay, but so and Troy performed. Now Troy didn't enter left-handed though.
No, he just
pulled
right
in. Doesn't use it.
Anders Carlson finished first in the left hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you got there, so you had said to me the referees they got to stay in a campground, and I'm just going, oh my god, I can't wait to hear this.
So they put us out. We were outside not really outside the city that far. So it was about a 10-minute car ride, but they give us a car to drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we had our own car, we had several cars.
So were you in you weren't in a tent, so you were in a cabin? Or?
Yeah, I was in a cabin.
Okay.
Me and Tibby from Romania shared a cabin. And so, yeah, we had our own car, go back and forth and whatever.
Wherever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
It was nice. It was a nice little French bakery right around the corner of the van. Because the place we were at, they were supposed to give us breakfast, but didn't open up till 7:45. And it's like, well, that's too late. So,
especially for you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, don't you?
As soon as that place was open, I was scooting down around the corner buying. So we'd stop on the way and buy some stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, and then
so your accommodations were okay then?
Oh yeah,
you were comfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. I know when I first thought,
campground. What is this going to be, right?
Yeah, and that's the same as with the issue we had with the venue. We were supposed to be in one venue. Something happened.
Yeah.
I still haven't heard what exactly happened there. So we ended up in this other spot where they only had room for 2 tables on the stage. Made it work. But you know what? Everybody, I think, enjoyed that close atmosphere where you're kind of jammed in.
More intimate than when we've been in hockey arenas where it's a big cavern, right?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
But but everybody enjoyed themselves being jammed in there like that.
Okay.
Because you're right up nice and close to the stage, even though the tables were back on stage, which was nice. But everybody's in there nice and close and, really get to be part of it. So you just see everybody just piled right in and up the stairs.
How did that translate to how late you were there in the day?
No, it wasn't bad.
No,
it wasn't too bad.
What time did they start every morning? 10:30?
No, I think it was 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting out of there by 4 or 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
We had a bit of a break because in the finals, I think the finals started at 5.
Okay.
Over there. So they'd start the finals at 5 each day. So we had maybe a couple hours in there to go out and wander around the city or whatever.
Go get something to eat.
Yeah. So it was nice that way. We got to go out and that's how we got to see most of Dieppe was just during the break time wandering around.
Okay.
And that's when we also went and got our pictures taken too. We had the break time and it was so funny too because we're trying to you're trying to schedule everybody because some are coming on this day and some are going this day. And it's like, okay, we're going to do it on, I think it was the Thursday. We're going to go get our pictures taken. But of course, that's the one day it's supposed to rain.
Oh, shit.
Well, worst comes to worst. We'll get them taken inside, bright and clear. Yeah, perfect. It was a perfect day for getting our pictures taken. So we wandered over there, got our pictures taken, and
okay,
it was nice.
So and I'm assuming, as usual, no politics, just kind of like at the WAF. In the end, the arm wrestlers always put on a good show.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
And all the political bullshit
that
comes along with it.
Yeah.
Usually, when I was attending WAF, all the political bullshit gets washed away. As soon as the first match gets started, then we're all concentrated on arm wrestling, which is what we're there for. So I'm assuming, the venue wasn't as advertised. Whatever happened, happens. But you ended up with a better place.
The venue ended up being a great spot.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, we were jammed in there and the referees were all out from one side, so we had lots of room, but people were shoulder to shoulder type thing, and they enjoyed every bit of it. You could see nobody had any friggin' issues with it.
Good.
When they first walked in, I think everybody thought, "Oh, geez,
here we go."
Yeah, what's going on here? So then, so now we're just waiting to hear where we're going to next year.
They haven't announced that. I'm assuming they know, but they just haven't announced it.
It's down to three places, 3 countries.
Was Malaysia, Finland,
and Romania.
And Romania. Okay.
Yeah. So, I've been to Malaysia, but I'd definitely go back there. Haven't been to Finland. Love to go to Finland.
You've never been to Finland?
No.
You've been
No.
friggin' everywhere. You haven't
I
been
know.
to
I haven't been
Finland.
to Finland.
Wow,
And haven't been to Romania. Been all around Romania, but haven't been there.
Because WAF held a Romanian
The year.
World Championships.
Yeah. Yeah.
The year you were probably the first year of the IFAs. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But again, this is not a political discussion.
No.
Again, as I said. So down to 2 tables. That's my only concern there.
Yeah.
When I tuned in online, all they were showing was 2. But they had 4 screens, but they were only showing 2 tables,
Yeah.
and sometimes only 1. And I'm not going to send you messages. What the hell's going on or anything? I'm just like, okay, well.
You wouldn't have sent me a message in. Well, I suppose on Messenger, because
Yes.
whenever I go to Europe, I always stop in the local phone place, buy a SIM card, and well, the difference. So I leave here. If I stay with my local phone company, it's $15 a day, and I'm there for 10 days. So that's $150. So I stop in the local phone.
You know what? I've never bought a SIM card when I've gone over.
Yeah.
It's never cost me anything.
I don't know how, but anyway,
Are-
I've been with Bell too, and they were the same thing.
Okay. You know
But
what?
yeah, so I buy a SIM card for €10.
Yeah.
And it costs me €13 for the month for 50 gigabytes of data. So, so for less than $30.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, I don't have my same phone number, and I forgot to change my message on my own phone to say I'm out of the country for, the next 10 days. And a couple of people tried to get a hold of me, and so-and-so, and one being the tournament we've got next weekend, the guy was trying to get a hold of me.
Oh, really? Okay.
He was probably panicking. How come I can't get, he's not returning my calls?
Well, I guess you have to give them an alternate number if they can't get a hold of you from now on.
Well, I'll just make sure I put on my
Yeah.
my message that I'm out of the country. Yeah.
So
do I have anybody watching you?
yeah, we had 5.
Okay.
Just look at the top of the screen there. Can you see that? Probably?
Okay, yeah.
See in the white?
Yeah.
So people come and go,
Oh, yeah.
and that's just the nature of these shows. But if you have any questions for Rick, those you can just feel free to type it in the chat, and the producer of the show, even though she's got an easy night tonight.
Sitting over there with a glass of wine.
Yeah, she doesn't really have to have as much to do because the goddamn camera wouldn't work again. But so 2 tables, how many days competition?
4 days.
4 days, okay. And big tournament, small tournament?
It wasn't huge,
No,
but we're growing.
I don't have any doubt that it was growing.
It's growing because we had a team there from Georgia, quite a good sized team from Georgia, which was good to see. And I see Georgia's actually gone to WAF too, so I don't know how they pulled that off because I thought they were suspended. But anyway,
I thought they were suspended.
Yeah.
So what? Any Russians?
No.
Okay.
No.
They didn't come. Like no Russians came on their own to try and pull anyway.
No.
Okay. Are they allowed to go to WAF?
I don't know.
And that's just out of curiosity with everything that's going on.
They said originally they said no. Then I heard Turkey put pressure on them to allow them to come.
And as a host, and Turkey's the host, you want as many numbers as possible.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But now I saw. I was going to look at the weigh-in list and see if Russia was in there anywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, and we had so one little funny story.
Yeah.
So this kid from Norway, big kid from Norway, in the junior 21, crushed everybody just in the open class, smashed everybody. Damn, he was in the open, smashed everybody.
Shades of Arsene Liliev. Remember when we saw him as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You've been selected for doping.
Is this is the kid that ran away?
He bolted right. I didn't see it, but everybody says yeah. They thought all of a sudden it was he bolted right out the door and just kept running. So he's suspended for 4 years. And they were trying to call him, and his parents were there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's like waving a big red flag that says, I'm guilty, I'm guilty, I'm guilty. Like
pee in the cup. Take your chances.
Yes.
Don't friggin' run away. I mean, you're guilty then. You might as well take your chances and pee in the cup. Wow. It's like, damn.
Well, if you did what you did,
yeah.
But if you're still a kid, still young, you just, you can't face up to your.
Yeah. But
wow. I read a story online. I don't remember who. It might have been Sean Hancock that posted it. That said,
they mentioned about Tony Hope. Tony Hope. Yeah. He got moved up to first place.
He finished second.
Okay. Yeah. There's another great story. His story is a fantastic.
I don't even think I know that name.
He's only got one arm.
Yeah.
It's funny too. He comes to the table, so it's his right arm that he's missing. When he was 2 years old, his father was a butcher, and he ended up getting his arm caught in a meat grinder.
Oh,
so he loses his arm when he's like 2 years old.
Yeah.
Then when he's like 8 years old, he gets bit by a rattlesnake. Yeah. Then his life takes a downhill turn.
Then his life takes a downhill.
Yeah. Well, when he got older, and he got mixed up with the wrong people and stuff like that. He basically living on the street. And 9 years ago, he turned his life around, and he's living the life.
Man,
now, he's married.
Yep.
World champion. It was so funny too, because I was talking to him. He goes, "You know what? If I just finish top 10, I'll be happy. If I finish top 3, if I get on the podium, I'll be ecstatic." So then I saw him. I said, "So you're at the top of the podium. What's above ecstatic anyway?"
Yeah,
So, wow. But he came down off the stage and the tears in his eyes. It was good to see. And speaking of the Americans, they showed up with a big team.
Really?
Yeah. What they did, I guess, at the Nationals is Bob Brown and I'm having a brain fart here. The guy from Five Guys,
Robert Baxter,
and somebody else managed to raise about. I'm hearing somewhere around 20 grand.
Really?
And so if you pulled the Nationals, you won your Nationals, and then you go to Worlds and you pull in that class, you get $1,000. Yeah.
Wow.
So all you got to do is if you win Nationals and you go over and you weigh in and make the class that you planned on going in, you got $1,000 towards your trip.
Well, you and I have known Bob Brown for a long time, and he was always gung ho about raising money for Team USA.
Yeah.
And I don't know Robert Baxter near as well. I've met Robert a few times and he just seems like such a great guy. Just like. And I know Bob Brown has his detractors and that. I get along great with Bob. I think he's a good guy. I really do. Yeah. He's opinionated. Well, so are we. So who gives a shit? He's got opinions. Who cares, right? It makes life interesting. But if they raised like 20 grand, damn, good for them. That's awesome.
They came with a huge team, and the women really kicked ass.
Really?
Yeah. They
awesome.
They took probably 3 classes in the women's.
Damn, good for them. Good for them.
I'm trying to think what the girl's name is that I think she won the latest class. And Leonard was saying she shows up, she pulls with the men, and she'll beat a lot of them. And she's only, she's not that big. That's only I think that was 57 kilos or something. So, she's not very big.
And I don't know, I'm not current on, but Lee
Aaron's one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the next.
I think Jody Williams did an interview with her, and that's why her name sticks in my head.
And I can't remember which one. If she's in the lighter class, and there was another one that was in the next class up, I believe, and she dominated too.
Really?
Yeah. No, those girls look real good.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, Team USA, I don't know where they finished in the team.
They finished 3rd overall.
They finished 3rd. Good.
Yeah. I'm not sure where they finished. That would have definitely been up there with the senior in the senior only thing. Okay. But overall, they finished 3rd.
How did Canada do?
We finished 7th.
We finished 7th.
Yeah. I mean, the juniors finished 3rd.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I'm standing there in Canada. Oh.
For just the juniors.
But you figure Mason 2 gold. Leia 2 gold. Jesse 2 silver.
Yeah.
Matthew, he got
Tessier,
he got a bronze and maybe a 4th or 5th in the other one. And I think Luke got a 5th or 6th.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it's all everyone was contributing points to the overall team.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it was good that way. So
okay, so then we can move on to the senior classes.
Yep.
And so how did the Canadians? Who I forgot to ask about first? Joe Gould. How did Joe do? I did see him. I figured he didn't do all that well because he posted that I'm too heavy. Next year I'll be lighter.
Yeah.
So
No,
was he outgunned in that weight class?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
and him and Wade were in the same class, and actually Wade actually did quite well.
Well, especially for someone who has not been arm wrestling
No,
very much in the last year or two.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, he's had a lot of things going on in his life too.
A lot of issues. Yeah.
So yeah, he did well. I think no, that was in Masters.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Masters,
I jumped back to Masters.
Okay, yeah.
I thought, did Joe pull the seniors? I thought he
No,
only pulled Masters.
No, he only
right?
pulled
Okay.
Masters. Yeah.
So I remember his post about he's going to be lighter for next year.
Yeah.
So I didn't recall how he did. So I assumed he was not happy. So
no, he didn't have a good day.
Okay.
So yeah, so there was those two, and then we talked about Mark and Troy.
Yeah.
And I think that was pretty well it.
Okay.
For our Masters.
And then we move on to the seniors. And did we have many?
No, we only had the two in seniors, I believe. No, Jesse pulled seniors.
Jesse pulled seniors?
Sorry. Yeah, the juniors jumped up to the seniors.
Okay.
So Jesse, Mason, and Leia all jumped up into the pull
Luke
seniors.
didn't? Luke did not pull? Okay.
No. So they all did really well. And like I said, Leia and Mason did really well. So they know what what they got to work on for next year.
Yeah. Now we're just coming out of, here in Canada, all restrictions finally got dropped the 1st of October.
Yeah.
So we're still coming out of COVID. Do you think that has anything to do with a smaller size team?
Yeah, I think we could have went with more because when we left, you had to be vaccinated to get on a plane.
Yes.
Now you don't. So I know some people wouldn't have been able that maybe wanted to go, wouldn't have been able to go.
Okay.
So I think we'll have depending on where it is next year, and how expensive it is.
Well, I guess the closest place would be Finland.
Finland would be cheaper to get to, but more expensive when you get there.
Okay.
Malaysia is the most expensive to get to, but probably the cheapest once you get there.
And I know nothing about
Romania.
Romania.
Probably be in the middle where I know when we were in Hungary, things over there were fairly cheap.
I know, and I was just reading an article about it's one of the more expensive places to live in. I'm going like, really?
What is?
Hungary.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I was just reading that, and they were talking about the expensive places to live in over in Europe, and of course there's London and Paris, and I was surprised to hear that Budapest was ranked up there.
Well, I suppose we were just staying in the hotel, but the food and that was fairly cheap over there, I thought.
Well, like when you and I went to Bulgaria, people were going, "Oh, you got to watch those things are expensive over there." It was dirt cheap in Bulgaria. And Poland,
you go for a meal and a beer, and it'd be like less than $10 Canadian.
I can remember just one story from me, you, and Joey Costello went out for dinner. So at this little restaurant by our hotel. So this was over in Bulgaria.
Oh yeah, that was the one that was right on the side of the hotel there.
Yeah, and I bought dinner that night.
Yeah.
Well, I left a tip, what I thought was a normal tip, and when we go back to the restaurant the next day, apparently I gave her a full day's wage as a tip.
Yeah.
And as soon as we walked in, there's three of us again walking in. She comes right over and takes me by the hand. She wants us at her table again.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't my turn to buy, but it was like I didn't. At first, I thought we were in trouble. And like, did I insult somebody? Said, no, nobody tips that much. Wrong, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but and like I think it was like $7.50 type thing for your meal, and so for some reason that's ringing a bell. So $10.
Yeah, like that's no big deal.
No.
But to them,
it was. So
but tipping in North America and tipping over in Europe is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the same at all. Just like hotels are not the same in North America as they are. And my first experience over in Europe was eye-opening.
Yeah. Well, the beds are small.
Yep, they are. But well. And so so the tournament goes off. Nothing comes out. You go to the Congress meeting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
No. Denise Waddles is now part of the executive.
Okay. What position does she hold?
She's secretary treasurer.
Okay.
Krill. Can't remember Krill's last name. He's basically Ukrainian, so he's got a lot on his plate that way.
Okay. He's basically Ukrainian. He
lived in Poland.
Okay.
But he was Ukrainian.
But he's a Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been busy that way. So he kind of stepped away from that. So then they replaced that and ended up being Denise Waddles.
Okay.
So
how did I have my opinion, and I'm not looking for any names. I have my opinion from what I watched. How did you find the referee?
I thought the refereeing went well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw some really bad calls and
I saw some too.
some very uncertain referees. Uncertain by meaning something happened and they're like deer in headlights, not sure what to call. Well, as a referee, you need to know what to call right away.
We had a couple people that were trying to move up.
Okay.
And 2 did move up, but several of them
They didn't make the cut?
no.
Okay, so you have a couple new master referees?
Yeah.
And like Sean Hancock has
Hancock,
moved up?
Yeah, and Tibby from Romania.
I may know the face.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. I still think I'm very biased. I still think like the top 4 referees in the world. I still hold Leonard.
Yeah.
Very high regard.
Yeah.
You know, I hold you in high regard as a master referee. Keith Michelle from the U.S., Bill Collins, but then there would be Leonard, Bill, and Keith, and then the drop off was huge between their level
and
and
the
who,
States.
yeah, and then who was next after that. So I'm glad that they've got somebody else. Okay, Sean is coming along and earning his stripes, so that's good.
Now it was funny, and Judy pointed this out. And she goes, "Look at your North American referees, all male. You look at the European referees; they're almost all female, with a few exceptions in there. But it was just kind of, and I never really noticed it before. But most of them are all. You got Judy and Camilla, and several of them I've already dropped away. But then you had I can't remember their names now, but some of the other ones, but they're all female."
What did you and I were watching a pay-per-view, whether it was King of the Table or it was East versus West, but only one of them used a female referee. I think it was King of the Table. No, it was because that was always Bill Collins. It was something else that we were watching, and there was no ego with the women at the table, and they had a way easier time than we see than the male referees. And maybe the male arm wrestlers are easier on the women referees. I don't have any idea.
I know when they first started, because I know Camilla had mentioned it, and Judy actually, I think, had mentioned it too, that, in the very beginning, before people were, the Europeans were really used to having the female referees, they didn't feel they got acknowledged, treated properly as far as a master referee goes.
Because I've never met Judy. I've seen her when I was at Worlds. But I have met Camilla, and I always held Camilla in high regard.
Judy was our head referee.
Oh, for the tournament?
Yep, we voted her in as the head referee for the year, for the tournament. Next year will be Camilla.
Okay.
So we just change all the time.
I didn't know you voted. I thought for IFA, Leonard was the referee chief.
He was at first.
Okay, now he's not?
No.
You guys just changed it up?
We actually just use it, and that's just for the tournament.
Okay.
So we work as a group. The referee panel, there's myself and Judy and Camilla and Leonard and Zil and Andre from Russia. So I'm not sure we're going to see him again.
Right.
So right now we're down to 5 of us.
Keith's not on the referees panel?
No.
I'm actually.
He was a late comer to the IFA.
Okay. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. So we work as a group, and we decide, and we make the rules. Like if we think a rule change should be, we're given that latitude to make the rule changes.
Because it's Judy, and I'm not sure who her partner is, that they're getting together and putting out a little video.
Paulina.
Okay.
Yep.
They're putting out the little videos going over different rules and that.
Yep.
And they break it down good enough so even an idiot like me can understand.
I've got to go back, and I was going to start sharing those just in Nova Scotia Arm Wrestling, so some of the people get to see how the rules, because a lot of people just do not understand the rules. Like one guy come up, and he protested the call. He went down. Oh, he thought he pinned the guy. Must have been left-handed. He thought he pinned the guy. Stop, but he brings him back. Winner. And the guy goes, "It was down. It was down." Well, the funny thing is,
the referee never called it.
The referee never called it. And here's the best part is, so he's got the strap on his arm. So no, it would have been right arm. So the arm goes down, but you could still see the strap. But see, the back of the forearm hit, which doesn't matter. He goes, it hit right here. I said, yeah, that's not a pin. And it was just so funny because plain as day, you're seeing the strap there. The strap's down 1 inch on the below the wrist, and the strap didn't go below. So buddy just gets away his €50.
Well, yeah. Do they do video protests?
Oh yeah, yep. People
Like,
bring it up. Yep.
For the whole
Yep.
tournament. Okay.
Yep.
Now, do you have an official
No.
videographer or anybody?
Anybody. We allowed anybody to bring that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it has to be, you know what I mean? Because most of the time, here's the stupid thing here. People run up with the video game, and it's like, this is showing nothing.
Yeah.
So you're showing me a video that just proved that the referee's right, basically. This video shows nothing.
Well, as you and I have experienced, for the most part, you know what? And I think I may have overruled a referee once.
Yeah.
With video replay,
Yeah.
just showing different angles.
Yeah.
I think once.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the most part, the master referees do a pretty damn good
Yeah.
job, in my opinion only.
Yeah.
Um,
And the seasoned master referees will go, because Leonard actually said, yeah, and I've said it too. Yeah, okay, let's do it again.
sure.
There was actually, I'm trying to think what the call was. And, there was an issue with the feet under the table. And they're going, he's kicking me. But we can't look under the table and see anything.
Not if you're paying attention to what's on top of the table.
So we actually allowed the match to be redone because I said, yeah, he might have did it, but there's nothing in the rules that says if you do it, here's the result.
Is there something in the rules now?
I think there will be.
Okay. All right. Well,
And we never thought about it either. Thinking, but he had both of his feet over this way, and they were both right on the bar. You know, the Mazarenko table's got the bar in the center. Well, they were both fighting for foot space underneath, right in the same spot, like right down the middle. But I said, you know what? If you guys want to rerun it, I'll rerun it. I said, you know what? There's nothing in the rules that say, and the other guy didn't have a problem doing it either. So, and the guy ended up winning.
Oh,
The same guy won.
oh,
So,
yeah. So then, it
Yeah.
really isn't that big of a deal.
yeah.
Okay. So overall, you're happy with your experience at the tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, everything turned out really well, I thought.
Good.
Like I said, we were treated well. We had a great time. It's good to see all the new faces from Canada. You know, just, geez, most of the people that went over there were
We're fairly new.
you know, if they were Jesse and Luke and Leah and Matthew and Mason, Dustin first time,
Yeah.
Randy Sparling first time. Troy Eaton hasn't been there in eons.
Yeah. No, it's been a while for Troy. Yeah.
You know, the only ones that have really been there before are Mark and Joe.
Interesting. That's
Yeah, so you know what,
That's interesting
and
as hell.
they're all pumped up and ready to go again next year. So that's that's really good.
who was team captain? Do you guys?
I end up being
You end up being? How do you beat the team captain?
well, it was kind of funny. So what I would do is I said to oh geez, I'm having a brain fart. Mason's father,
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah.
I said I had to send him up once. I said go protest this. Take this camera and go protest.
Oh no! Oh no!
And we won the protest.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
But yeah, so he kind of, so I just kind of got, whoever happened to be around, because nobody really wanted to do it type thing. So I didn't mind. And so that was the only place I couldn't run up there with my referee shirt on and protest another referee.
Well, not really. So
So Scott ran up there and did that, and we won it. So that was fun.
oh, shit.
And
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Okay, so the tournament wraps up, and then you have another story to tell.
Oh man.
I read a little bit about it.
Yeah. So I thought, you know what? I'm in France. Got to go to Juno Beach.
Okay.
I mean, I like history, especially Canadian history and the war and all that kind of stuff. I said, been to Dieppe, went down on the beach where they got massacred on the beach. I'm going to Juno Beach. If anybody's unfamiliar, Juno Beach was during D-Day. Every country, the Americans had two beaches. The Brits and somebody else had two beaches, and the Canadians had
All the allies had their own sections to look at.
and Juno Beach was one of the hardest beaches to take. They knew it was going to be one of the hardest. And the Canadians stormed the beach on D-Day, and they plowed so far ahead, they had to stop and wait for everybody else to catch up because they were afraid they're going to get so far ahead that they were going to get shot by their own people. So anyway, so I said, I got to go to Juno Beach, whatever it takes. So I was talking to Ruth and Ruth Michelle, and she said, this is the tour we took. So I took and booked the tour. And I said to her before, I said, geez, they're not getting back to me saying this is confirmed. Oh, no, it took me a long time too.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Okay. So I go on Hotwire and book a hotel room.
There's mistake number one.
Yeah. And so now I jump on the train. I'm leaving Dieppe and I'm heading to Bayou, it's called. So I'm heading out there. Right before I'm to get off the train, I get an email from the friggin' tour company. We canceled you. So I'm on the train trying to friggin' find another tour. And then as I'm doing that, miss my stop. The girls, there was a bunch of girls that were, I don't know, 13, 15. You can't tell.
Whatever, yeah.
Any girls speak English? One kind of a little bit by you. And they're like, I saw them by the look on their faces, like, yep, I passed that.
Oh, man.
I had to get off at the next stop, get back on a train. So I wasted, I went about, I don't know, 40 minutes past my stop. I had to get off at the next train station.
And wait for another train to go back.
Come back. Then I get off there, get a cab. When I get off the train, go, here's my hotel. Take me here. And we're driving going, shit, where are we going? We're going way in the middle of nowhere. So buddy pulls up and goes, I'm walking going, parking lot's empty. Beating on doors. There's nobody there. I'm just glad cab driver just didn't pull up and drop me off.
I leave, yeah.
Oh, I would have been screwed out in the middle of nowhere. So he ends up finding the phone number and calling the owner. And the owner goes like, I've got no reservation for him. Great. So now that I spent 55 euros, which is like friggin' 80 Canadian, in a cab ride to get out there, now I got to get a cab, get him to take me back into town, find my hotel. And then the next morning, I was going to get a cab just to pick me up and take me out. And took me out to Juno Beach, and he dropped me off. I left my bags in the cab. He says, I'll check and see if, because I don't want to drag my bags around there. So he says, I'll check and see if I'm the one coming. He says, yeah, I'm coming to pick you up. So he came back in a couple hours and picked me up. Meanwhile, I got to tour around the whole
beach. You're more trusting than I would be. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could actually bring myself to do it. Because
I didn't really
call.
Huh?
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
Whether you're leaving your bags with some stranger or not.
Yeah.
That's not anything else that you've done. I just mean leaving my bags. When we were in Bulgaria, I didn't like leaving my bags downstairs. Well, because only one person at a time could fit in the elevator.
Oh,
but not me and my suitcase couldn't fit in the elevator. But oh wow, that's
So then I just So then, like I said, he dropped me off. I spent a few hours touring around Juno Beach and taking in the whole museum thing, and then he came back, picked me up, took me to the train station, jumped on the train back to Paris. I get into Paris, so you get into one spot, then you got to get off that train and find the train out to the airport.
Oh yeah.
So find this other girl that could speak English, and she's like, it was kind of funny because she says, no, you got to go upstairs. So I'm going up the stairs, and the next thing I'm turning around, she's running after me. She pointed me in the wrong direction.
Oh, geez.
And she comes running after me to straighten me out. And so then I jump on the train to go to the airport, and I actually, a couple of trains, I get off one station, get on another one, then I go to the airport. And at the train stations, you put your ticket in, and then it spits it out and opens the doors. Well, I didn't know you were supposed to get a different ticket for getting to the airport. So I couldn't get out of the damn train station at the airport. And then finally this woman come along. There was about 5 of us all had the same issue, but there's no says you have to have a special ticket. And she goes, very dirty. I'll do it this time. I'm like, well, I don't think I'm coming back.
Chances are I'm not going to see you ever again, lady, right? So
so she opened man.
Oh, man. Okay, so you get there and uneventful coming back home?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't have that much of I don't know what it was like go to your place. during the hurricane, we didn't even lose power.
No, neither we.
You guys didn't at home either?
No.
So, and I know,
Geez,
like Truro
parts of PEI only got it back here the other day.
well, Tamara Mitz had posted pictures of her place.
Yeah.
Man, her place got trashed.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She got trashed pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw the pictures that she had posted when she couldn't leave her house for I think it was 6 or 7 days.
Really?
Well, the trees are down. She can't get
I
anywhere,
suppose,
right?
Yeah.
And then there was people. I think in Truro, it was like 9 or 10 days before they got power back.
Yeah.
So and I felt people say, "How'd you make out?" Well, the lights flickered a couple times, but
I think that's all did because people all around my house lost power and we never.
Well,
I never lost power anyway. I wasn't here.
You weren't here, but we were told before that we're on the grid with the fire department. That's just like 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
But I have a friend, the guy I used to work for when I worked for Wade, Baller. He lives across the street from the fire department.
Yeah.
He's not on the same grid. He lost power.
Yeah.
He's just across the street,
Yeah.
but we didn't. So I don't know. So good trip.
Yep. Definitely.
You had a good refereeing experience.
Yeah. Now, I mean,
did they have, like if you're down to 2 tables, they must have had an overabundance of referees.
Yeah, we were sitting around a lot.
I was going to say you had too many referees, right?
Yeah, we were sitting around a lot. No, we were shooting shit a lot. I mean, then I tried to get up, and then something would happen, and next thing you know, I'm off the table again, and it's like, man.
Yeah, well, you just get into a groove.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then we get the finals, and it was just the master referees. Then once we hit the finals, or the people going for the masters, and basically most of them are doing rock paper scissors, whether they were heading or down.
Oh, really? They didn't do any sort of rotation.
No, we were just like they just set it up because they had to watch. So Judy and Paulina were setting it up, going okay, because you can't referee if you got a countryman on your table. So
you know what? I actually trust you. You got a Canadian at the table.
But
I understand the perception is reality.
Yeah.
Right?
So they would have to keep mixing people up, and the next thing I know, Rick, you and Keith are up, or Rick, you and Leonard are up, or whatever. So, and then you going upside or downside. I mean, I didn't care if it was up, but some of them were going. See if they're up or down.
Oh, really? I mean, way back when in the days when I refereed, spot judging gets boring.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only.
I know. Especially at the beginning of the day, you're kind of I got to pay attention to what's going on here.
Yeah,
because you're just not that involved down below, as opposed to where you're hands on when you're starting a match.
Okay.
So,
we got a few minutes left, so first I want to touch on. I don't know who's listening or whatever, and this I don't know if this would include you or not, but so I just came back from the New England Championships. Maritimers, if you're looking for a road trip, you can drive straight to Boston in 10 hours from Halifax.
Oh, yeah.
Good tournament. A lot of, they had almost 300 people at this tournament.
Oh, wow.
Good tournament. They ran 4 tables from the start.
Was that right in Boston?
No, we're just outside of Boston. Burlington? Woburn. We stayed in Burlington.
Okay.
10 or 15 minutes outside of Boston.
Okay.
Other than traffic.
Yeah.
And hotels.
10 hours is not bad at all.
It's not that bad.
Jeez, we used to drive 13 to Gloucester way back when.
Well, I'm going to Ottawa in a few weeks, and that'll take us. Well, we drive 10 hours to Lévis, Quebec, and then for another 4 or 5 hours the next day, just to break it up. I don't know.
Does he have it at the same time every year?
It's always in October.
Yeah.
It depends on when the WAF Worlds are scheduled, because Josh Grant, who runs the tournament, he goes to WAF.
Right.
So last time I went, it was at the end of October. Well, that's when the Worlds are this year. So he's actually gone now.
Yeah.
He's over in Italy now. So there's that.
Turkey.
Sorry, yes, Turkey. You're right. Italy. Yeah, no, definitely not Italy. And so speaking of, we have a tournament coming up on the weekend. So we're going to try and live stream the championship belt matches for members only. This is just a test. But the way shit went tonight, we failed already. But we're
blame the producer.
Well, you know what? We're going to try a different laptop.
Yeah.
We'll use the producer's laptop that she uses for work, And
Don't crash it.
well, so you just got to open up one program and run live, and then just let it go.
Yeah.
So we are going to try, but only the championship matches for anybody that's a member of Iron Sport Videos. Now, I guess if you wanted to tune in, you could spend the $4.99 plus tax, become a member, and then cancel after the event's over. But that still gives you a month of access to whatever it is we do. There's that, and you just held the annual AGM for Nova Scotia Arm Wrestling. What does anybody need to know about that?
Well, we've got pretty well a whole new executive, really. I mean, I'm still there. Paul is still there. You're the new VP. And then as far as directors, well, Mark's still a director.
Mark McPhail's still a director.
Mark McPhail's a director. Kenny Snow's a director. And Mark Croce is a director.
Okay, so we have pretty good representation from the three main areas. Main areas
Went up in the north and central, and then down
the valley. Yeah, we got to get to the South Shore.
Yeah, I know.
That's just we used to be down in Bridgewater area and
down there.
Down there, and we haven't been for
a long
past
time.
few years.
Yeah, you just got to find a spot down there.
Okay, so and nothing else new came out of the AGM, really?
Well, we're going to run.
Oh no, we do have another new executive. We have a referee in chief now.
Oh, that's right too, Rob McNamara.
Rob McNamara is for the first time.
Right. We're going to have a referee in chief.
A referee in chief.
Yeah.
So good luck with that, Rob. I got a whole list of duties for you already.
That's right.
I'm just kidding.
You see the list of duties I got for you.
Hold on, you didn't ever knew what I did before, so now you got to give me a list now.
Make up shit.
So I think this is my third or fourth tenure as
Is it?
I was original vice president when we first started,
Right.
and then I was vice president.
Who was in between?
I don't have any. I think it was Charlie
really?
Yorston, I think.
Okay.
And then after me came Eddie McClellan, and then you've had Sean Ross, and I don't know who else you've had.
Yeah, I can't remember who else has been there. Yeah.
But I think this is it's either my third or my fourth run as vice president. And somebody said, well, Scott, what is it you're going to do? I said, you don't have any idea what I do now. So what difference does it make? But okay. So anyway, any new?
Yeah. Well, about the only thing really new that's coming out is we're going to actually go back to having a tournament to come up with the Battle Atlantic Challenger.
Okay. So originally,
we used to have we used to have one.
Yes. So the brainchild of Battle Atlantic was me in the origin, and I bring it to Rick, and this is what we should try and do. And where'd you get the idea of championship belt matches? I ripped it off from Igor at PAL. Nobody was doing that.
No.
Nobody was way back then. And I thought, this is a great idea. Yeah. I checked into the prices. We got belts at a half decent price.
Now we got to replace them again because they're getting a little long in the tooth.
Some are getting pretty beat off.
Yeah.
And we're missing one.
We're missing one. Yeah. One got lost.
Okay. So we'd have to just order that and get it taken care of. And for any females in Atlantic Canada, there's a bounty on Angela McNamara's head. Her husband, Rob, has put up $200. Anybody from Atlantic Canada that can beat her.
Right on.
Right. So that was done when I had Angela and Pauline Sircan on the show. We were talking about women's arm wrestling, and Rob put a bounty on Angela's arm.
Nice.
So
we did that. We did that years ago with Greg Harnish.
But
it was kind of we made a deal though. Like there was Greg and Rob and Mark Stevens, who were the top three guys right there, and maybe Mark McPhail. I don't know if he was in it at that point, but amongst those guys, I said, okay, we're going to put $1,000 up. Anybody can beat Greg, but you guys got to agree not to take it.
You can't. You're not taking the money.
So we did it, and it only lasted a few tournaments. It didn't actually generate any more. But a few people did come out and give it a try, and then we never saw them again. So you know what I mean? They were coming for the money.
Yeah.
They left without it, and they never came back again. So
well, there's a little story about somebody wanted to challenge Greg. I don't remember where we were.
Oh, that was the forestry exhibition.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Buddy says, "On how you beat me, I'm stronger." Or no, Buddy was betting Greg. First was $50, and Greg comes to me and he goes, "I want $50." I said, "We'll cover you." Felt pretty confident. Buddy whips out 100, and we'll cover that.
So NSAWA was backing Greg.
Greg goes up there, bam,
bang,
bam, smash him about 4 times before Buddy even friggin' knew it hit him. And then the guys got the nerve to say, Greg, I know I'm still stronger than you. And Greg in his dry humor goes, "Oh, trophy in one hand, $100 in the other says you're not.
So same sort of thing. Any female,
If you know people,
they have to be from Atlantic Canada. They have to be from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So want to challenge Angela? Rob's put $200 on her head.
nice.
So yeah,
He's online right now.
Rob is.
Yep.
No.
LOL. You think that's funny, Rob? It was your mouth that got you in here.
Yeah.
So, but again, you can correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
hear Sarah
Rob.
Wilson's moving down.
She won't be moving down in time for that. After this tournament, he'll probably retract that altogether. But so the Battle Atlantic is this upcoming Saturday. We are going to try and live stream the belt matches only. How many matches are we talking about here? You have 3 right and 3 left for the men.
No, the right hand between Mark and Brett won't take place because Brett's out to sea. So we're moving that to the
Okay.
Superman. That'll be the first
That'll
match
be
of Superman.
in November. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Mark and Charlie right-handed.
Okay. Mark McPhail, Charlie McGagan.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got Phil Cardy. He's going both right and left, and he's got Donovan Krause right-handed and Joey Thibodeau, I believe.
Joey Thibodeau.
Left-handed.
Okay.
And I can't remember who the lightweights are. I've got to look that up.
Yeah,
I got to look up the lightweights to see who.
So
they
2 of the 3 matches are going to happen right-handed.
Yeah.
2 of the 3, and what about left-handed?
All 3 left-handed.
And is John Thompson has the belt?
No, he gave it up.
He gave up the
He's still
belt?
hurting. Yeah. I'll get into my truck.
Oh, okay.
Stripped in.
And he's way down in weight from when he was competing at the Battle Atlantic.
Oh yeah,
too,
he was
right?
about 270 there. Now he's down around 200.
Somewhere down around
Yeah.
there. And what's funny is he's going to Ottawa for Eric Racin's tournament.
Okay.
And so we live in the same city, but I'll have to travel to Ottawa to see him. It's same thing as Winnipeg. I saw him at Winnipeg when he was out to Winnipeg MCing, and I had seen him for probably 6 months before
I was going
that.
to start training with him on Friday nights, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, or try to see if we can.
So, and because you guys had John Terrian was in town? He
Yeah.
came into practice?
He was down here doing some
He's
emergency
working?
roofing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. He said it was kind of a joke. They sent me down here, paid me good money. He said, but I didn't really do a lot. You know, he wasn't actually doing he was just putting patches and stuff like that just so it wouldn't do any more damage.
Okay. I didn't know he worked, because before he worked for himself, did he not?
Yeah.
And now he's working for a company?
I don't know if he's working for a company or working for himself, and he's
And he
the
got
insurance guy.
contracted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have a chance to see his match with Farrell Hoagland?
Yeah. Good match.
It was a good match. And no disrespect to Frode, I think John could have ended it faster.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think he was just, once he got control, he was doing it a little pulling the Devon trick, just let's bleed him out for a little while.
Well, it's a smart thing to do, though.
It is.
When you're in a match like that.
God, that kid's a stud, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
And he's going down to I think I'm not trying to name drop, but Arm Wrestling Uncensored holding an event down in Texas, and he's going down there for a match as well.
Okay.
I guess. But
he wants to move himself up in the rankings because Americans don't tend to friggin' give Canadians much credit.
I know the Americans around Michigan
Yeah.
give John Terrian all kinds of credit
I
because
bet
he
they
destroyed them all.
I bet they do.
And it just watching what he did in that right-handed class.
Yeah.
He just walked through.
Yeah.
He just walked through. He was great. I just need her. Oh, it doesn't. I hear you, Rob. I hear you. So next Saturday is Battle Atlantic.
Yep.
What else is on the docket?
Superman, the end of November.
End of November.
Yep.
And that's it for
That's it for this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And do you have anything lined up for next year as of yet?
Well, I mean, we'll run the Battle Atlantic. I just got to find a spot to come up with our number 1 challenger. We'll do that. I think it's March 4th, something like that. 1st of April is Atlantic Canadians. 1st of May, right around 1st of May is provincials.
Provincials.
And we get nationals.
And then there's there's a proposal for a tournament in June.
Yeah, for June.
Be an amateur tournament.
It'd be an amateur tournament because it's like a week before nationals.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, folks, we're just over an hour and we started late, so I know Rick's got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Poor bastard. But I appreciate you all tuning in. And if you have any questions, drop me a note, drop me a line, and we really do appreciate everybody tuning in. And I'm not sure where we're coming from. Trevor Weatherby, Trevor pulling in the belt match.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm assuming that's what Rob is reminding us of.
And Trevor's a right hand and
oh yeah, because Trevor doesn't pull left.
yeah, and I forget who the left hand is.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Dylan Courier or not. I'd have to look and see who finished.
Okay, look, and I hope everybody can make it out to the Bad Atlantic. And Phil Curdy, if you're online watching, make sure you talk to me about coming down to your place. And that's it for now. And I'm not sure what's happening next week, but I've got some fires in the iron and
Fires in the iron.
Yep, or irons in the fire, or folks, you think that's bad? Sometimes I say the complete wrong word or wrong country. Right. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next weekend. Now I have to get up and shut the show off.